I couldn't help overhearing your big plans. And I was wondering if you had room for one more crazy do tonight, huh?
Of course. Did you want to come with us, Mr. Krabs?
Oh, hadn't even crossed me mind. But sure, I'll go.
I don't know, SpongeBob. He might cramp our style.
Stop!
If you'd like to commission a knick-knack sample platter, instructions in the description below. Once again, we find ourselves in the magical world of banned media. It's like lost media, but less creepypasta. Why are all the lost media videos so spooky? Of course, banned in this context is a very nebulous term that almost never means something forcibly removed by an authority like the government. None of the episodes of television we've talked about have been banned in the sense that lawn darts were banned. Instead, these episodes were either quietly removed from or were never added to rotation in order to maintain a certain image for the channel. It's not that much different from when a channel removes a whole show. Pinwheel wasn't banned from Nickelodeon in 1990. It was simply deemed not up to the channel's current image and was removed. It's just, in some cases, they do it for a single episode instead of a whole show. Today we'll be looking at a relatively recent example of this. And yes, unlike elephant issues, I think it's safe to call this one banned. The Great Snail Race / Midlife Crustacean is the 15th episode of SpongeBob SquarePants' third season, the 55th episode overall, originally airing on January 24th, 2003. Let's touch on the Great Snail Race real quick, since it's not what's quote-unquote banned here. Written by Paul Tibbitt, Ken Osborne, and Joe Liss, this short sees Squidward getting a new purebred racing snail. And after some mean-spirited mocking from his neighbor, SpongeBob decides to enter his pet snail Gary to the race, with SpongeBob taking on the persona of a strict, overworking coach.
Looks like we're gonna start our training now, ladies. Ah! I call you a lady to humiliate and demean you. It's a motivational tool we coaches use.
I don't know why, but I think I'll kick SpongeBob's butt tomorrow.
This backfires completely, and Gary has a literal breakdown on the track.
Faster, Gary! Faster, 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 faster! Huh?
Oh, looks like number 7 has a blowout. Oh, make that 2, folks.
Gary?
I hope you learned an important lesson about taking care of your pets, SpongeBob. Don't work them too hard or their eyeballs will explode. The Great Snail Race is fine. It's a little repetitive in how bad SpongeBob is as a coach, but the snail race brings a near Ren and Stimpy level of body deconstruction that I know many appreciate in a shock value kind of way. But it's not banned. You can watch it right now on Paramount Plus if you want to. You can't watch the second cartoon. Midlife Crustacean was written by C.H. Greenblatt, Kaz, and Mark O'Hare. Mr. Krabs, owner of the Krusty Krab fast food restaurant, is really starting to feel his middle age. He's doing well for himself, but his body is starting to sag, and he worries that he's no longer cool.
Your old man is cool.
See, no one says cool anymore. That's such an old person thing. Now we say coral, as in that nose job is so coral.
Coral, eh?
Ew. When you say it, it sounds so uncoral.
Desperate to regain some of that youthful spirit, Mr. Krabs asked to join SpongeBob and Patrick on a big night out. However, if he was looking to feel cool again, he definitely picked the wrong people to hang out with.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Art thou feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? You feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Shh!
Mr. Krabs gets frustrated and is about to leave, but SpongeBob and Patrick entice him with one more activity, a panty raid. An old school break into a girl's space and steal their underwear panty raid like frat boys in the 1950s. Mr. Krabs is in, and the three of them find a house to break into.
Frilly things! We hit the jackpot!
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs!
You finally came through for me, boys! I feel young again!
However, it turns out that this is the home of Mr. Krabs' mother, who sends him to his room. So I guess, in a way, Mr. Krabs gets to live the way he did when he was young. Midlife Crustacean is pretty great. I think it's a lot of fun and does a lot of work characterizing Mr. Krabs beyond his well-earned, greedy capitalist image. It was funny when I was younger, and now that my 40s are on the horizon, a lot of the midlife crisis stuff resonates even more.
Hey, no cutting! You gotta wait your turn like everybody else!
No! No! I ain't old like you! I ain't old! I ain't old!
I also worry about death all the time. I'm not sure why I'd rank this among my favorite episodes, but it's up there. Unfortunately, like I said, you can't watch it on Paramount Plus, or Amazon Prime, or Vudu. The last time it reran on Nickelodeon was August 14th, 2018, and the last time it reran on the Nicktoons channel was on a marathon in February 25th, 2021. In a 2021 article on IGN, a Nickelodeon representative confirmed the episode's removal. Midlife Crustacean has been out of rotation since 2018, following a standards review in which we determined some story elements were not kid-appropriate. No further details were given, so everything beyond this point is speculation, but most people, myself included, assume this is all about the panty raid scene. One concern many people have with children's media is imitatable behavior. The idea that young people are impressionable, to the point where if they see something on TV, they would likely try it themselves. The specific psychological sciences on this are a bit muddy and cover a lot of different topics and conflicting examples. On one hand, it's all but proven that violence in video games doesn't result in real-world violence. On the other hand, multiple children have been hurt or even killed jumping out of windows or off roofs pretending to be Superman. When I was a kid, I very casually used cuss words I saw in movies, much to my parents' horror, but I don't remember carrying over any actual bad behavior from what I watched. My cousin, on the other hand, nearly broke my back replicating wrestling moves he saw on WCW. It's weird and complicated, and I'm personally not qualified to plant a flag in any of it. Does Midlife Crustacean promote the act of panty raids? Does it make breaking into a girl's house and stealing their underwear imitatable behavior? With it being such an old idea, it was probably the first time thousands, maybe millions of children were first introduced to the concept. Of course, it also frames the act as incredibly stupid. It's suggested by SpongeBob and Patrick, which the entire cartoon have been establishing as uncool and a little stupid. And then Mr. Krabs gets punished for the panty raid pretty much immediately. The cartoon is against panty raids in the same way the Great Snail Race is against putting nails in the blender and trying to feed it to your pet.
Well, of course I expect you to eat this. It's scientifically designed to help you win tomorrow. Gary? Wow, pretty good time.
None of this was seen as an issue for the first 15 years the cartoon existed. Once again, this is internet speculation. Nickelodeon has never confirmed this. But the removal of the episode from rotation lines up quite well with the rise of the Me Too movement, following numerous accusations of predatory behavior in people in Hollywood, such as Harvey Weinstein. An episode where 3 men sneak into a women's underwear drawer was probably seen as, if not a step over the line, at least a step too close to the line. And you might expect me to agree. I am that beta SJW who shows you how all your favorite Nickelodeon shows are problematic after all. But I genuinely don't think the panty raid stuff is that egregious. And if the episode's removal was in fact because of Me Too, I think it was an overcorrection. Again, the stupidity of the act is clear in the text, and any sexism involved begins and ends with, panties are fun to steal. I do get the desire to recognize that some things in your catalog haven't aged well as others, but I think there are degrees to this. A gulf between, not sure this tracks as well as it used to, and, oops, we did a sexism in the past. And the panty raid stuff falls much closer to the former than the latter. I hope, then, that Midlife Crustacean is restored to the show's lineup in due time. Thankfully, it's at no real risk of being lost, as it's still available on DVD, even DVDs printed after the episode's removal from broadcast in 2018. Another day, another reason to buy physical media. SpongeBob SquarePants is a show of many small controversies, most of them absurd. How does the banning of Midlife Crustacean stack up to all of that? Well, that's for a bigger video. This was just a sample.